And that's, you know, sort of outside of the EAM. There's a lot of strong things going on from Navi's lineup because they, as the panel said, they have been able to get their hands on that Slardar IO that we did see Liquid have a very easy time with in the first game of the series.
Yeah, but it is because of what lane that they were up against as that IO Slardar. And Liquid, they should know how to play versus it. If they're the masters of this IO Slardar, right? Their Grimstroke Jug, that's their idea of how to break it. Just that kill threat always on general.
Here we go.
And again, a 5-man.
Smokes out, and they're able to start things off. Tiger looking for the body blocks on, always want to fly. Allowing the rest of them to come in, and they'll be able to do so. As first blood goes the way of Mickey.
Good start for the Jug, and we're going to see him queue up the boots instantly. So I think they scouted that General has Windlace, and it is this Slardar plus IO lane, so they could, you know, the speed maybe in some situations could get them away from that spin and that Inkswell combo, but if Mika gets early boots, I think this could turn out to be a very, very hard lane for General. And they're actually going to look to move stuff around, perhaps. I think Roger might play with the anti-mage, and they might put always want to fly top, because he actually has the nuke there, and then he's not just full countered by Legion Commander. We'll see if that is the choice, though, as we see the battle for the rune.
Oh, Tiger off the mark with the roll. General's going to be able to pop the crush, get the bouncer in. Navi actually
get the slow on him, but they can't chase.
Yeah, I think that they're going to get 3 of the 4 bounty runes there, Navi.
Yep, so you always want to fly. He is going to stick up here in this top side, so they are doing exactly what we talked about. It's going to be just the full sustain lane bottom disruptor, so he doesn't get countered by Legion. And then that should prove pretty good for V-Tune. I think top lane, as we already mentioned, it's already going to be hard for General, so I think this actually is the right move from Navi. Yeah, let's see if General is actually able to get too much up here, because this does not look like an easy lane. Usually Slardar, he can actually turn and he can hit and beat on these heroes, but with constant kill threat on him, it might be tough for General up here.
Oh, let's see what he is able to achieve. I mean, I guess, yeah, both of these setups on this top lane have pretty good kill potential once they hit the... Oh, I guess kind of level 3 is going to be the big one for Liquid, the 2 points in the Blade Fury.
Yeah.
With Insane as backup. So it's going to allow Mickey to run down either of these 2 heroes. So definitely going to want to put the pressure on as much as possible onto the Jug before he gets there.
Yeah, they just need to hit him all the times, because as soon as level 2 hits as well, like even 2, 3, etc., every single level that comes out from this Grimstroke, they're going to make moves. If General steps up too far on the wave, he's going to get spun and comboed on, and it's a lot of slow, it's a lot of damage and control to keep him under. Taking a look at the other lanes. Yeah, we're already seeing V-Tune. He's gonna likely get free farm down here versus this double melee. It's a good lane for him too, with the IO behind him. So that's exactly what Navi wants in this game.
No, I think he's going to be fine. I think the only sort of liability down here for Navi is if, you know, Roger gets caught out of position and they're able to just get on top of him, but
yeah,
probably not going to happen. I'm sure Roger's going to be very careful how he moves around V-Tune, and V-Tune's going to be sort of just putting the pressure on, and anytime they do roll in, suddenly V-Tune's going to turn, start breaking through all their mana, and the plays are going to be very limited for Liquid's duo.
Yeah, definitely agree. This is a really good setup here for Navi having this down here. They're going to look to try to make some pressure onto Roger here with the level 2s. But the man is gone. Boxy.
Well, Roger able to step to the side. And now, you know, what have you got? Boxy's got a Mango on it. I mean, they're going to have to play like this, bring this sort of burst sustain down. Otherwise, any sort of time they try and get aggressive, they're just not going to be able to do so again for quite some time, because the mana's just going to be gone.
No, this is just going to be full out free farm for V-Tune, which, yeah, like we said, for AM, this is going to be really good for Navi. This is exactly how they want the game, and he is in some good matchups versus that Storm Spirit in particular, versus Jug. He has a lot of different ways to play around these cores.
See top lane.
Top lane.
Remember the combo there to try and chase down Always Want to Fly, and they've got the damage to kill him. Take the kill. And this is you know, what Navi's got to be very careful about. These two, this Grim Jug, you know, absolute killers in this lane. So anytime that the creep wave's in a position where Navi's having to step far away from the tower, there's a high likelihood that Liquid's going to be able to just run them down with this combo.
Yeah. General did do exactly like what Synderen was talking about, though. He's actually got the 3rd point. He puts the point in the sprint. He's got the boots in the wind lane, so he might have movement speed to be able to disengage from that spin. And he actually is getting away with some stuff top, which he's getting away with more than I thought he would, in particular versus this Jug and Grimstroke lane that was intended to shut him down.
I see Tiger. He's headed over towards the mid lane.
They could definitely look to punish. Quakefa's having a good start here. If Iceberg moves too far, he could kick him under tower here.
Really far up here, but Tiger still hesitating to go. I guess just waiting for the 4-minute runes, really. This is his main job.
Yeah.
Waiting to see.
Uninsured.
Okay, they get the setup. There we have.
Kicks him under tower.
And it's starting to get a few tower hits in onto him. Puts the verifier, but and they finish him off. Tiger, he's got another roll in a few seconds. Iceberg not going to find that rune spawn as it will be up top. Tiger, if he hits the roll, he'll probably have the kill here.
Quakefa getting aggressive on Always Want to Fly as well. Might be able to get him, and he does connect it.
He hits it.
He'll get the kill.
A big one there, chasing Iceberg out of the lane for a decent amount of time and being able to kill him off. Trying to turn with the avalanche, but as it was, the stun's still connected with the roll.
He looks like he was trying to fall. He's going to fly as well, but yeah, he gets the connection, and I mean, that's boots now for Taiga as well, too, so he can keep looking to roam around to these lanes. Gonna kick Quakefa off to a good start. And I guess we didn't touch too much on about Quakefa's game because he is playing versus an AM, so it always immediately looks very scary. He's not too bad this game. There is some stuns, but the IO and the Disruptor can suffer a bit versus him because he can just get on top of him. Sure, the glimpse, pulling him out of his ability is annoying, but yeah.
And he does just have to be so careful against that AM. Like
he does.
Especially a V-Tune AM as well. V-Tune, he's been very on the ball. He's very focused. This player, he's not going to miss opportunities like the Quakefa's going to present when he comes balling into the midst of the fights. V-Tune's going to find him.
Kick back, up top. Always Want to Fly. A quick, easy kill. So they are enabling Mickey to get this increased farm, and he does need it, especially in this game, because V-Tune is just getting away with full free farm. And as we said, this is a pretty damn good AM game in the mid game. This could turn out to be V-Tune just getting full free farm and them unable to really contest and slow him down at all. Just from this type of start here. I think they're trying to enable Quakefa as much as possible because he's the one that actually has to hunt and slow down the AM. If he gets a good Orchid timing, he actually is the one that can do so. Yeah. With Taiga rolling around, they can pose a lot of threat.
We go 6-minute rune. Taiga able to kick Iceberg away. Protect that rune for Quakefa in his bottle.
How's our stacks for Liquid doing? As we know that they always do stack. We have a triple stack on both fronts at the moment. In their usual spots there when they do play Dire.
Top lane.
Up top, General. He steps up a bit too far.
Tiger again with these moves. 1-0-3, 4 of the 5 kills, really down to Tiger and his involvement.
Yeah, Tiger and Boxy, when they play these type of roaming heroes, like we saw, the Boxy Tusk earlier, they're very active. They just always are constantly looking from lane to lane to make these type of plays.
Straight back to
it is seen by this ward this time around. But he's applying pressure, which is exactly the way Liquid needs to play. They don't want this game to ever be to a point where it's slowing down in this farming, because that's just where AM thrives so much. They need to be making aggressive moves and enabling Quakefa to get good Orchid timing.
Mid lane, Quakefa. He's playing around with Iceberg. Toss not enough to kill him, and now Iceberg...
Tiger's behind.
He's able to wrap right around and be there once again.
My God, Taiga. He literally just walked through the tower, actually. Placed the ward, walked through the tower, and rolled onto him there. I mean, such aggressive plays. And they saw him the whole time with the ward, too. That he still was able to do it because of the way he did it. It's nice angles of approach there.
And Tiger
6-0 already for Liquid.
Getting a lot done. Still, complete free farm for the anti-mage.
Yep.
But Mickey's definitely going to be able to give the AM a run for his money this game. Both of the carries going straight for the Battle Fury. We have seen Mickey on his jug sometimes go for the Manta into the Battle Fury, but I guess he feels this game he can absolutely get away with the Battle Fury first because he knows that the enemy carry is also going to be doing the same.
And he's not threatened, I don't feel, by the supports at all. Like, he's got spin, so he can always play around the glimpse, and then that's the only real threat for him, really, from those two supports. General isn't really going to be that big threat as a Slaughter, so I love this choice for Mickey to go greedy.
I think there's no reason to believe that he isn't going to get away with this. It's very hard to see what sort of moves they can make onto the jug, even with Iceberg.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Iceberg really who can make those moves, and he's very slowed down because of Taiga's movements. And I think that's exactly what Liquid's trying to do at this game. They know that Navi's gone for a very greedy style here with this anti-mage, so they can take advantage of the map a lot here. And there we go. They're going to start farming these camps up here for Quakefa, get himself enabled. Massive stacks.
Jelly. Jelly for the Storm. Always a lovely one hit. Is he giving the second charge to over to Mickey? Yeah, over to Mickey. Yeah, this is going to give Quake a beautiful burst of gold, and it's going to put him on track for a very good Orchid time in this game.
Yeah, and that's the key for them to actually start being able to actually hunt V-Tune.
Yeah.
And I feel like on Navi, it is going to be a lot harder for them to ever actually set up for these hunts with their lineup because of how these lanes are going to go. Because of General being slowed down, it feels like he's pretty crucial to actually have that Blink Dagger for them to get catches before these, before Disruptors level 6 in particular. Their catching is quite weak early on. Until they do have that Blink on one of these heroes at least, either Iceberg or General. And yeah, Liquid's just going to play the farm game. They're going to just play this greed with the Storm, with the Jug, with all these stacks from Insania.
I mean, we've seen them come and sort of look up towards this top lane, but Mickey, he's just able to turn on them. As they take out
committing
General.
the Omni.
Yeah, just I guess he was to secure it. Wasn't sure if Always Wanna Fly was maybe to come in with the Static Storm, but not quite 6 on the Disruptor. But it's still, you know, this top lane where Always Wanna Fly in general walking towards Mickey. They're not able to do anything. Maybe now with Iceberg.
He doesn't have spin mana. He's actually short.
He's able to. They've got him.
He was actually 2 mana short, even with the stick when he pops it. That was such a heads-up play by Always Wanna Fly.
Wakefire. He's come over. But there's a lot of heroes here. No glimpse, of course, for 30 seconds. Yeah, they're going to bail out of this one. But yeah, a big catch there, being able to find some sort of opening in Mickey's game. You know, he
A catch that you would feel would never happen because of the Jug spin. But yeah, he's just literally 2-3 mana short and he gets the kill. That's such a heads-up play by Navi. And any time where they can slow down the Jug, it's everything for their game. Because then the Anti-Mage gets his time to just get enabled and get that Battle Fury at this faster time and just outpace and outfarm that Jug.
And it is going to be a very fast timing on this Battle Fury from
It
VT.
is.
Already seeing the sort of the numbers that he's hitting.
Koikfa, he's 400 gold away from his Orchid already now, though.
Okay.
But Always Wanna Fly bottom. He's got his ult. Setting up for Boxy.
Straight down onto him. As they relocate to make sure that he's incredibly dead. VTune secures the kill with a Mana Void. And with that in mind, and maybe even the chance to push for the tower, we'll see how aggressive they want to get. Okay, they won't. They'll take the Tiny back out to the mid. Iceberg to resume farming as he himself closing in on the Blink Dagger. A few hundred to go. Yeah, the Battle Fury is going to be very quick on VTune, but yeah, so quite with this Orchid, he is going to have quite a good window to try and play aggressive and find that Anti-Mage whilst VTune's trying to get the Manta style. I mean, how good do you think is Liquid's potential to hunt down VTune?
It is quite good now for the moment, especially before these Blink Daggers are online. Iceberg, he's about to have his finished up, so he's going to have to be very aware of the counter ganks and just be in a very good position to do so with this versus that AM. Because Koikfa, him and Taiga, they're going to smoke immediately and look hunting. They're going to just start beelining, looking for this Anti-Mage every single time. They have a decent ward down, too, at the moment, kind of watching in between the Tier 1 and Tier 2 mid. They're going to just settle for Iceberg at the moment.
Find an easy one on River, maybe not, because Roger's able to come with the tear that provides some heals. Is it enough?
A lot of heals.
Keep an Iceberg alive for long enough to get the combo off. He will still fall, though. As Liquid, they get the pick off. Despite Roger's best attempts to keep him safe.
V2 wants Koikfa. He's blinking after him.
See over back in the jungle, they get the glimpse onto Tiger. He is still looking for this, but the Orchid's out.
They get the Orchid.
He steps straight into the silence. Oh, he took a risky move there, VTune. Also at this point where he hadn't quite spent out on the Battle Fury, he goes hunting for that Storm kill. And I mean, that was a big risk to take and a painful risk as well. They're losing his life in a game where he's having such a clean start as the Anti-Mage. That's sort of your classic pub AM mistake there.
He really wanted to get the Mana Void, but the ward on the high ground, Orchid comes back up, and oh man, that's a huge blunder there. Because now we talked about how when the Jug is off the map, it gives time for the Anti-Mage to farm. Now Mickey, he's got the timing. He actually has the Battle Fury finished before the Anti-Mage, and he even has a DD rune to keep going farming. And they're going to get stacks going for him, as we know Liquid loves to do. They already have stacks prepared even. He actually already has a triple stack ready.
I'm sure, VTune is going to be much more careful how he turns up to fights now.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to see these situations where he's solo chasing into Liquid's half top lane. Instead, he's been caught by the combo of Iceberg. As the rest of them will make it out. Nobody else up here, so Navi's going to have the space to take the tier 1. Staying down bottom, boxing Quake for pushing on.
And they will be able to finish their double blink daggers off of this too for Iceberg and for General. So they'll be able to match the movements and they'll be able to counter gank versus that Storm's movements a lot of the time too. But we do see, yeah, Liquid, they're taking bottom tower out. Some mirror movements. And yeah, make it just a little bit better timing on his Battle Fury. He'll be able to farm a little bit faster. But Vtoon, he also just cleared a triple Ancient stack for himself too. So Navi, they did have some.
So yeah, now the farm game on between Mickey and V2.
They couldn't finish the tower though. They actually did not finish the tier 1 top.
They didn't even with the four of them up there a moment ago. All right.
I mean, that's pretty huge. Taiga, he might get punished and killed because he shows his face up here. And then they will be able to get the tower.
Okay, I mean, maybe that was the plan. You know, why take the tower if it's going to be a place where someone might come in and try and soak up some XP, get the kill and then the tower.
Sure. Koifa, level 12.
Straight to the AM.
They're looking to get invasion. They're looking, again, it's just going to be a constant hunt for Vtoon. And, oh, they see him for a second.
He's got back up of Roger.
Up with him. They cut the tree, they put the ward down. They're looking.
Try and get the grab on Roger. Tear this eye away, but actually a little scared of committing any further with the TPs coming in from Iceberg. Glimpse onto Boxy. Straight into the Static Storm. Will pop the blade mail, try and hold his ground. Iceberg coming in with the combo, takes him out. And generally he's able to wrap around and get on top of Insania. As Navi respond to Liquid's attempts to try and invade and get aggressive onto Vtoon, but we're seeing just good preparation from Navi. Having the IO around and making it a little hard for them to actually make those moves onto the anti-mage.
Yeah, now, I mean, Roger now has he actually has a mech at such an early time this game. At 15 minutes, we had the mech come out very late for the side of Liquid last game. This one is very nice timing for them. And a great counter gank. We see how hesitant Liquid is. As soon as the initial doesn't work, Koifa has to be very careful. You know, that mana pool, it's everything. Especially versus that anti-mage, so has to back away as soon as they botch the initial jump there. And Jug and AM looks like they're going to be kind of matching themselves in that farm. Boxy definitely suffering though. It feels like he's going to have a really hard game of what he's really going to bring to the table for his team besides just to press the attack. Not going for the blink. He has this blade mail build, so he's not going to have that same impact that General will. Because General, he has a blink dagger. They can look to actually make a lot of plays with him because they have this IO pairing too. The relocate's always threatening around the map.
And we're seeing these sort of games as well. Koifa has to go for this BKB next, really. You know, against these heroes, you're just not having any sort of a game as the Storm.
Not too much. There's just a lot of stunts now when they are getting all their levels online and everything, and just the mana burn in particular. Can't just kill your whole team with a mana void. Still keeping themselves at a pretty good pace here, Liquid. AM, though, you know, he's starting to get that space, Vtoon. It's really all about that Manta timing in particular for him, so he doesn't feel threatened by Koifa, at least in this game early on. Insania with some nice little sneaky smoke movement bottom. Looks like he's setting up here for potential moves if they do see when Vtoon splits up. And these sneaky wards, you always want to have like one ward in your jungle, one ward in the enemy jungle when you're playing versus a hero like Anti-Mage. So you can see, you will be able to find some grab on him when he does look to jump on one of these camps. Like Koifa, he's playing around this one down bottom. He's just waiting.
And they're getting quite a lot of space around the map in Liquid right now.
Mm-hmm. But for Navi, it really is, it's all about Vtoon, right? It's an anti-mage game, so it's everything is for him. Koifa still in deep territory here.
He's playing around his vision.
Such a scary place to be.
He's gonna go for cutting the creep wave.
Iceberg is here with a blink, but yeah, he zips and TPs.
Just making sure that they don't really have an opportunity to push onto the tier 1 tower bottom for at least another wave or so. Limit the objectives that Navi can try and take.
Yeah, I feel like Liquid is a little bit scared of these blink daggers at the moment because they can get picked off on so many of their heroes in comparison. Without Boxy with blink, Liquid can't set up for the same type of aggressive moves right now.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
How's Taiga's Spirit Vessel going? He's almost got it. So they're trying to, you know, of course there's that IO, get their Spirit Vessel going on Liquid. But a very even kind of farm style game here. It's going to be this Jug versus AM just matching each other.
And is
Dead even on net worth. Literal exact net worth. Oh, I changed just there. Oh, that was nice, actually.
I mean, is that okay for both of these carries, or is there a carry out of the two that you kind of want to be ahead of the other on?
I think you're both feeling pretty okay. I feel like Navi's definitely feeling really good for the anti-mage because he's now not getting hunted and he's got Manta online. So that you know, that window of like 6-7 minutes where he's terrified, it's just gone. He only died once during it. I think for Navi a little bit happier, but I mean, we've seen Mickey with this jug. He's been able to match a lot of these times versus these super late games, versus these Spectres, versus these Voids. So I mean, he's still keeping at that pace very nicely.
And how would you sort of rate a jug against the AM down the line? Like,
I mean, the thing is that he can kill the whole enemy team is the thing, right? Like versus 4 heroes, the jug can just reign supreme. I think AM, he can have some troubles in this matchup. He can get tripped up a little.
Definitely stepped into a more passive state of the game. Bottom, Boxy. He's definitely dead hit. No mana, no escape. More money for Vichu.
Big comebacks here from Navi in the last 10, 12 minutes. Liquid has not been able to find themselves a kill. It's all been Navi.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Still, the gold overall does continue to rise for Liquid.
Yeah. Ooh, look at Mika's positioning. Iceberg, he's gonna get omnied. Sneaky play from the jug there. They will find Insania on the other side there. General now up to level 12, so level 2 Corrosive Haze will be online.
They've got the tower, met by the creeps, so they'll try and push down this tier 1.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
V-Tune. Yeah, just continue. Identical build here, other than the treads for the face. But the big items at least. Battle Fury, Manta, Basher coming out from both of the carries.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
I mean, it really is going to be a lot of just this carry versus carry, but Liquid, they're getting quite a bit more on the map, just being able to farm just on this tri-core. All 3 of them are farming. Like, even Boxy, even though he suicides himself down bottom, he got the wave so far in that even when Navi gets these kills, they can't even take out the bottom tier 1 because of how far it was pushed. So they are splitting that wealth for Liquid very nicely. And at this AM, like we said, Navi, they're still farming on the AM, but Tiny and Slardar are starting to stagnate a bit.
I mean, because Navi, when you look at sort of the 4 heroes outside of the anti-mage, as you said, obviously their job is to keep V-Tune safe. But can they actually afford to play aggressive without V-Tune, or do they just not really have the power to get those kills easily if V-Tune's not around?
Are scanning.
I think it's scary because of the counter gank. If they don't go on the Storm, Koikva's going to counter gank that. And then they don't have their anti-mage to counter gank the Storm. So it's just weird because they don't want to pull V-Tune into these ganks. They want him to just be playing his own game. They always do have this nice potential for Roshan, though, on Navi, which is, you know, because of that Slardar. But on the same time, too, it's similar for Liquid because they can just do it with Healing Ward at a different type of sustained. It's very interesting kind of matchup here.
And Koikva's got his BKB too now, so even if they do get a jump on him, he's going to have the chance to respond.
They're getting some big time. This is a big timing here for Liquid too. With this BKB, they've the Basher also on the jug at level 18. This could be a big window for them to solidify their lead versus Navi.
Okay, to try and find the setup on the front. Also, Omni/Slash backup in just a few seconds. This could be a tough fight for Navi. As they get the jump in, Static Storm will go down. Mickey over to the side. Iceberg, he's going to go down. They take out Iceberg. Koikva does fall, and now Vichu, he's going to turn over towards Tiger. Another kill picked up by Navi. There'll be a buyback from Iceberg. He's in with a combo, catches both Insania and Boxy. Boxy's trying to run, but the bashes are there. Vichu's on top of him. Boxy, he's almost certainly going to fall as they have the crush. A triple kill for Vichu. I sort of had eyes on Mickey running, and what happened to Koikva, Fog?
He didn't BKB. He jumped in, just got crushed immediately, and then Manta AM just cleans him up completely. A huge mistake from Liquid, and now the Corrosive Haze into Roche. Now it's an anti-mage with Aegis. Whole game has changed.
Absolute V-Tune, a triple kill, and a Roshan for this anti-mage. It's going to push him very close to pretty much the level 18. That was, I mean, it looked to be as the perfect sort of setup for Liquid, coming in like that, getting the jump on Iceberg, having the item pickups that they did, but just not able to execute it in the fashion that they needed to, with Koikva making a huge mistake.
Yeah, huge mistake from him, really. Just zipping into the back. He didn't click BKB. He just dies. And they've actually decided to give Iceberg the Aegis, since he did use the buyback last fight.
Okay.
Not giving it to Vtoon. He's feeling confident in himself. I mean, that's massive for Navi there. Gives them pretty. I mean, that gives them everything they needed. Now they can just actually play a little bit more relaxed. But Liquid, maybe if they, if they feel that, they might be able to take advantage of the relaxed state of Navi because they get this here. They're still looking to play active, and Mickey, he still is, like we said, he still is super farmed.
Yeah,
he still is matching this AM.
Anti-mage, yeah.
They still are at disadvantage. Just, yeah, this is a big blunder there by Koikva. He has to be very careful because now it's also, you didn't use the BKB, you died, and now Anti-Mage is on his way and almost has Abyssal. So he has this counter for your BKB very soon. He already has the Basher, so Koikva definitely has to watch out. 1 or 2 more mistakes of that, and that could just hand Navi the game.
General and Iceberg, they're coming over. Mickey. And General's going to go in on the backlines, but he's instantly silent. Static Storm's down, controlling Insania for now. Mickey turns up to Always Want to Fly. Boxy walks in. They've lost Insania, but they will be able to pick up Always Want to Fly in return. The Omni Slash coming out. Big bounces onto Iceberg. Iceberg will go down. The lockdown's there onto the Anti-Mage. Mickey steps across. They've taken out General. They've taken him out the once. Can they get Always Want to Fly here? Over they roll. A second one for Mickey. The double kill is Mickey's cleaning up a bit. Silence out onto Vtoon. They've got the damage. Mickey's on top of him. Vtoon's going to go down.
He just jumped in.
Maybe feeling that he could finish off the kill, but with Mickey around, Mickey's just able to step over.
He has to be, when Earth Spirit and Storm are still alive, he has to be very careful of the silences that can still come. He jumped right in, gets insta-silenced by, I think it was by the Stone, by Taiga, and then he's just dead. They have enough control for him. I mean Vtoon just slipping up big time.
We just saw, a great fight with Vtoon coming out top. Now it's Mickey's turn to sort of take the crown here. As
he's got Abyssal himself.
He has, and he's taken down to tier 2 here as well on the bottom lane.
I mean, Vtoon has to be really careful playing around these silences. Like, when these fights kick off and Taiga's still alive, this Surge Spirit, it gets stronger and stronger too. Like this silence, it gets to a point where it's ridiculous. It gets to a point where it's like a 6.5 second silence if he gets to level 22. And I mean, Taiga's surviving in all these fights. Vtoon cannot make those type of mistakes, and that was them with the Aegis and with, I mean, how many buybacks was it from them? 2
buybacks from General and Roger. General and Always Want to Fly.
Ooh,
Always Want to Fly dying a second time.
I mean, that kind of just, General and Iceberg's game is kind of just over at this point, and Koikva's still growing, Boxy's still growing too, and he always has that control for AM. I mean, this is going to be a tough call now for Vtoon. That's such a big mistake.
Yeah, Mickey, as you say, full Abyssal and that bit of action as well. It's pretty much put Mickey. I mean, he's about to hit level 22, whilst Vtoon's only just entered into level 19. So nearly a 3-level difference now between the carries.
It's just how quick these things change. Just when one of the carries survives a fight. Okay, Vtoon, he's committed the gold, so he's got the Abyssal coming out. They're still looking to play aggressive.
Always Want to Fly, stepping in. Boxy is going to be able to find him.
Fly.
Instantly getting the duel off. An extra bit of damage here for the Legion. $8K lead now for Liquid. Vtoon, I mean,
this nice,
well, what's the plan now? Can he still turn up to the fight? So at this stage, does he have to go sort of back into farm mode?
I mean, he has to turn up to the fight to the problem, because Liquid, they're gonna look to press this advantage here. He's gonna have to turn up, but yeah, it's definitely gonna look a lot harder for him now. He's fragile. He's only 2,000 HP. He's got the Abyssal Blade fully finished up, but he doesn't have like a Scotty or anything for this high HP fool to tank all this damage that Liquid has coming out on all fronts. It's not just the Jug. Like we said, it's the Jug, the Storm, the Legion, the Earth Spirit control. So many things Vtoon has to watch out for. And his 2 cores, they can't contribute nearly as much. I mean, in fact, General he's starting to get to the point where Taiga's going to surpass him.
Navi.
Iceberg stepping up.
Koikva, yeah, he's ready to go. I mean, Boxy and Insania, they're coming in with the wraparound. They're able to get the jump onto the back lines. Boxy finding Always Want to Fly. Takes out the Disruptor before any sort of fight can kick off.
Deep Ward finding them the kill there. It looked like Navi was about to jump onto Koikva too there with General as well as Vtoon. They can definitely pop Koikva in most of these situations if he's not careful too. They still can insta-kill the Storm. They just have to be careful not to get cleaned up afterwards. That's, as we said multiple times now, Liquid, it's more about the full team, where Navi, it really is starting to get to the point where it's all the weight on Vtoon's shoulders.
It really is. And he's got a lot to pick up after that.
Middle tower is under attack.
That last fight, pushing him behind the farm of Mickey's Jug.
Their map is just, it's shrinking very quickly. As the storm just gets more and more farmed here, they get the map control for the runes too. Koikfa has an arcane rune. His teammates can't farm. They actually just have to sit behind VTune and let him push the lanes out, because anyone else who shows is just going to get killed. Even when they're, like, look at how careful they're playing. They have no vision really on the map at all, just that one ward bottom. Look at Liquid's coverage. The sentry coverage, the ward coverage, it's just not giving Navi opportunities to have any vision. Besides that one ward, of course, that we see.
Yeah, I was going to say, they have
actually forced the
literally,
smoke.
like, what, 10 sentries down on the map right now.
Yeah. I mean, this is what Insania has been doing a lot of their games.
Yeah.
Just ward coverage up the wazoo.
Here we go with the smoke. Navi, seeing what they can catch. It's going to be caught by a
Scan,
scan. They know to expect something coming in from this direction, Liquid.
Yeah, and they'll just back away and put themselves on the high ground, putting themselves in a very, very safe position here. And the team's gathering for a smoke themselves now.
And they know that Navi just tried for something.
Yep.
See if they can hit back. As Boxy and Tiger lead the charge.
They've got the lanes pushing in a nice place too, and it's about to hit 30-minute mark, so runes and bounties.
Boxy, who's
Even
going to be able to find?
V-Tune.
He's going to get the jump.
Oh God,
He's going to get the
V-Tune.
catch. Boxy, he's got him in the duel. As V-Tune, he'll fall, dead for 75. Boxy again with the catch. As they finish off Roger, Koikfa's ready to zip over for more. Rolling in, Tiger closes the gap onto Always Wanna Fly. Iceberg will turn with the combo onto Tiger. It's not enough to kill Tiger off. Iceberg goes for the BKB TP out. He's the only one to make it out alive as Navi lose the other 4 members. As again, these smoke movements and Boxy just always finding the jump to start the fight off for Liquid.
Under attack.
And they couldn't even get, the reload? They had to try to get the relocate save off, but they couldn't. They can't actually get V-Tune. And I mean, V-Tune shows him. He reveals himself. He gives them literally full information of where he is. He gives them the free jump. V-Tune making some big mistakes this game, getting punished by Liquid.
Radiant's middle
Oh!
Now, okay. He just got it off the courier, I believe, so he just clicked it.
Testing
Whoops.
it, you know.
But now, I mean, they're going to get a Rax advantage, and now,
Yeah.
I mean, this is just impossible, it feels, for V2 now. He's going to
feels
need
rough.
some type of,
I mean,
some type of
they're
miracle.
going to be down pretty much 20k right now.
Radiant's middle has fallen.
And this rack's gone.
And so many items now being collected from Liquid.
Well, they get the glimpse onto Mickey
He
here.
tossed him out of it. He tossed him out of the glimpse.
No, he
He
didn't.
tossed him out of the static. Yes, he
Oh,
did.
he did, and now Boxy's got the duel onto Always Wanna Fly. Always Wanna Fly is going to go down. V-Tune does come in, has to bash out onto Boxy, but Mickey's coming across with the Abyssal. Straight onto V-Tune, they go rolling forward. V-Tune's able to blink out to the side.
It's okay.
BKB popped by Koikfa. Mickey turning over to Iceberg. Iceberg's BKB shortly about to come to an end. Mickey committing with the bashes, but now V-Tune in general, they're trying to turn it onto Mickey.
Silences.
They've been silenced. Tiger pushing back V-Tune. V-Tune's got to run. General's down for 50. They can't touch Mickey as Mickey just pushes on full HP on the jug.
He just holds his ground. He has the healing ward down for the whole fight and just fights them, and there's too much silence and there's not enough damage. Navi.
Radiant's bottom
Liquid. That's the second set of racks here. Now back off.
barracks has
Happy to sort of enjoy what looks to be maybe a slow and painful victory. But Navi's going to have to wait out against unless V-Tune can do something magical, but he's falling so far behind now. 5k difference, 5 levels difference as well. Mickey about to hit the 25.
Oh, and he has 3 deaths, and it feels like those 3 deaths were... he kind of forced them a little bit there. The first death going for Koikfa under the ward, the second death too, and then the second death where he blinks in, and the third death where he reveals himself on an outpost. V-Tune slip him up a bit, and Liquid really capitalizing on it. Now they're just so far ahead. This anti-mage just cannot carry the game by himself. They're going to need some type of throw from Liquid.
And maybe something about this anti-mage hero, you know, that sort of Carl was touching upon. You know, how there have been grand finals in the past where some of the best carries of all time have said, hey, give me the anti-mage. And then it's something about it in grand finals just... It seems like it's almost a curse.
Yes, even into a Storm Spirit. It's just a tough hero to make work. We've been seeing it fall out of favor for that reason for a long time. And now we're seeing Liquid all grouped up at the ready here. BKB's on, I mean, even Earth Spirit has one now, and Aghanim's on Insania, so the stronger your anti-mage is, the stronger my Dark Portrait is as well, and AM is one of the best Dark Portraits you can make.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right,
this is
that's
just
very
Liquid
true.
covering all their
Navi
bases.
trying to surprise him here, but the courier scouts it all out. There's Roshan.
Smoke coming out.
It's up in 15.
Liquid's gonna smoke and just run right into them and like look for the fight. This fight is so hard for Navi. I mean, look at the lanes. The base is starting to get pressured now by creeps.
Navi, what's the plan? What's the plan, Navi?
Liquid's just gonna... They're just gonna run right in with all these BKBs, and this fight for Navi looks so damn hard.
V-Tune, he's got to be careful. Blinking away.
Hey, Koifa.
River. Tiger's going to start this. DD Features are going to be able to get it. Features able to jump in and find it. Koifa, he's in. On to General. General goes down the leash. It's on the Feature. They've got the dual control. As again, they're in with the taunt. Omni slash out. Feature set for 80 seconds.
He's gone.
He's out of the game. Roger is as well. Double kill for Incentives. He's cleaning up with the Dark Portrait. And there it is. GG is called. Liquid will take this game. And with that, the series, the championship title, it's theirs. As they are your ESL 1 Germany 2020 online champions. And my goodness, do they deserve it. The work that this team's put in over the months, and now they come in and they've done it, folks. They've absolutely done it. The 3 wins they've had here have looked phenomenal. They had the one game where Navi were able to hit back hard and give us some of the magic that we've seen from Navi before. But this game